Okay, we couldn't quite get through 2.2 in part 2, so here we are in part 3. If you have not yet watched parts 1 and 2, then please stop here and go ahead and watch parts 1 and 2 first, and then come on back for our couple minutes here in the last section of our 2.2 Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire PowerPoint. All right, what we were talking about right at the end of part 2 was that there was external reasons for the fall of Rome as well. It's not just the 5 internal problems, which again were economic issues, social issues, agricultural issues, military issues, and political problems. Okay, those are the 5 internal ones. There's also external problems happening, and those are the barbarians. We talked a little bit about the barbarians already. All right, you guys should have question number 20 already done, right? The barbarians are trying to invade. Number 21, what is the problem with Rome's borders? Well, they're greatly weakened because we're not paying our military right anymore, and they are disloyal a lot of the time, so they're letting tribes through. Not to mention, there's just not enough military to protect all of the borders all of the time. So some people are making their way through the gaps, okay, and sneaking in past the military. So why is everybody sneaking in anyway? Well, there's a lot of reasons why they're sneaking in. Number 22, name reasons they're sneaking in. 1, they're looking for better land. Okay, Rome's on some pretty prime real estate, right? They've got control of the whole Mediterranean Sea. There's all different types of climates. They've got good weather in a lot of the portions of the Roman Empire, and people want that. Okay, another one is, again, Rome's wealth. Even though they feel like they're not as wealthy as they used to be, Rome, all right, in comparison to some of these barbarian tribes, they're very wealthy, and the barbarian tribes want a piece of that action. A third reason is there is a fierce and savage nomadic tribal group known as the Huns that are making their way across Asia and getting into the European continent, and people are running from them and making their way into Rome because of that. All right, so that's a map for you of some of the different groups that are making their way into both the western part and eastern parts of the Roman Empire. However, you do want to be aware that the western portion of the Roman Empire was the one that faced the most attacks by quite a bit. Really, the Eastern Roman Empire doesn't have nearly as many problems as the western half does. So who are the Huns anyways? Well, they're led by a guy named Attila the Hun, okay? He's a fierce and savage military war leader. People all over Europe know who this guy is and are afraid of him and his warriors. They're nomadic people. They kind of use up the land where they are, and then they're always on the move looking for the next piece of land that they can use. So as they move, they're getting rid of people that are in their way as they go. All right, so that's kind of a little bit about the Huns and who they are. In fact, the Huns are such a large warrior group that most of the Roman Empire in the West will end up falling to the Huns at one point or another, and a big chunk of it falls in 476. A lot of historians will mark that as the end of the Roman Empire in the West is in 476, because they have been under attack by multiple different tribal barbarian tribes by then. Okay, and different pieces of the Western Roman Empire have fallen by then. And in 476, the Huns have completely taken control over Rome and big chunks of the Western Roman Empire. And so a lot of historians will say that that's the date that it falls, although there is still little pieces left in Roman control at that point. Okay, last question, end of an empire. One of those little pieces, or the only piece that's left of the Western Roman Empire, is actually taken over by another barbarian group, Clovis and his Franks. The Franks are another tribe of people. Clovis is their leader, and they come in and they're able to sack that last little section of the Western Roman Empire that has not yet fallen in 486. And that's it, folks. The Roman Empire on the west is no more. The Western Roman Empire is completely gone. It's been overtaken by various tribes by that point, and now the only thing that is left is the Eastern Roman Empire. What's ultimately going to happen is that Eastern Roman Empire will end up becoming the Byzantium Empire. There's going to be this big power vacuum now, right? Rome has been the one that's large and in charge for such a long time, and people are going to be wanting to fill that void. And really kind of three cultures are going to come out of this power vacuum void, struggling for power. One is going to be the Byzantine culture. One of them is going to be the Islamic culture, and one of them is going to be the barbarian cultures. And they're all going to be trying to vie for the next big mighty empire that is that's large and in charge. Okay. All right. You want to make sure if it was in red, you highlighted it with your super duper highlighter color, and that if it was underlined in yellow, you were using it to you were using your summary highlighter to underline it so that you know you need to include it in your summary. Looking at the rest of your questions, you guys, just to help you out. Okay, so number 24, when did the Western Roman Empire fall? Well, a lot of historians will tell you again, remember, it fell back in 476. However, really, there is one little piece left, and that goes to Clovis in 486. Number 25, what brings about the fall of the Roman Empire? All those barbarian tribes, especially the Huns. That's a big, huge reason why they fall. But there's a lot of tribes that start to make their way in. Those are some of them on the map there. The Franks, like I said, with Clovis, right? The Goths, the Visigoths. I mean, all different kinds of groups are coming in and taking pieces of the Western Roman Empire. All right. Let's see what else you guys have. Number 26, what happened to the eastern part of the Roman Empire? Well, it survives. It was not hit nearly as bad with attacks from barbarian groups, and they go on to become called the Byzantine Empire. That's right. And in 27, what significant event occurs in 476? Well, again, that's when most people declare Rome has fallen. Although, remember, there was still that little Western holdout that Clovis gets his paws on in 486. All right, you guys, the last thing the Blue Notes ask you to do is write down the lesson summary, which is right there. So make sure that you do that so that you're all wrapped up in your notes, and make sure that you highlighted everything you needed to again. And I will see you guys next time. Until then, have a great day. See you later.